everybody, I'm Nicole Sanders and welcome to Lady Max Lifestyle's YouTube channel. I bet you didn't know that 43% of women between the ages of 40 and 59 are obese. That's a lot of women. And if you're talking about Black women, 4 out of 5 of us are either obese or overweight. Lady Max Lifestyle is about real women, real food, and real results. And today we have a real woman who is doing the dang thing in her company, CEO of the Honey Pot Company. And she's living her life, but she's also doing the things that she has to do. So please welcome Bea Dixon. Hey,
Hi,
Bea.
Nicole.
How are you?
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah, so
I'm good. I'm happy to be here with you.
good. I'm happy to have you here with me. So listen,
Thank
so
you.
first of all, before we hop into anything, tell everybody what the Honey Pot Company is about.
We make products for humans with vaginas by humans with vaginas.
I think that's brilliant. No, maybe it's just me, but I think it's brilliant. Anyway.
Thank you. I love vaginas, so
okay.
It felt right.
Then you know what? That's good because that makes us a great team.
Exactly.
So tell everybody about the Honey Pot Company. How did it start? Where did that come from? Tell us.
Yeah, so the Honey Pot Company, I got started back in late 2011, early 2012. Okay. I had a bacterial vaginosis infection for almost a year that I couldn't get rid of. It was reoccurring, so it would go away and come back. I would take medicine. I would go to the doctor. I was on all kinds of forums.
And nothing helped?
Nothing helped. Like, it would help for a second, but then as soon as I would get my cycle, I would end up getting bacterial vaginosis again. And I figured out why. The reason why bacterial vaginosis is a thing is because it's a pH problem. And so if your pH is off, when you get your period, your pH rises because that's what, blood makes it rise.
Sure.
When you're coming off your period, it's supposed to go back down to its normal state. But what happens when you've kind of got when you have an overgrowth of bad bacteria, basically, that can cause bacterial vaginosis, then it'll bring it back. One morning, I had a very vivid dream with my grandmother. And in the dream, she basically handed me a piece of paper, and on the piece of paper was a list of ingredients. And she told me that this was going to solve my problem. Now, the crazy thing is that my grandmother died when my mother was 8. So I've never even really physically met my grandmother outside of that situation, right? And so I'm trying to talk to her, but she's like, don't talk to me because I'm not going to be here long. You have to remember what's on this paper. You know what I mean? And so she just kept telling me, remember the paper, read the paper, remember those ingredients. So I woke up like saying the ingredients. And when I woke up, it's crazy. I wrote it down. I worked at Whole Foods at the time. So it wasn't hard for me to pull together the ingredients because everything was natural. And then within a couple of days, I made it. And like 4 or 5 days after that, everything I was dealing with went away. So immediately I was like, oh, I have to make this into a business,
Wow. What, you and I have been working together for just about all of 2020,
Yeah.
COVID, and I was going to say post-COVID, except it's not post-COVID. We're still in COVID. So I know a little bit of kind of what your lifestyle is once you and I started working together in terms of, fitness and eating and stuff like that. What was it pre-Lady Max?
Pre-Lady Max, I was kind of sedentary, so I wasn't working out. I did yoga from time to time. I would walk from time to time, but I didn't have any kind of a fitness routine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't eating enough and I wasn't moving, right? Like that's where you've really gotten on me. And I still don't know if I eat enough.
Okay.
But
it's funny. I'm going to go on record and say that most women don't eat enough. And I know you say that you're not vegetarian, but do you think you tend to lean more toward that? More plant-based?
It depends, I'm at this point in my life, I'm moving around a lot.
Yeah.
Like I'm traveling, I'm busy, I'm doing a lot. So sometimes I'm probably like 50-50.
The important thing, I think, and this is one of the things that I focus on with Lady Max Lifestyle, is because most of the time women aren't eating enough, and it doesn't matter whether you're
Yeah,
animal-based, plant-based, it doesn't
it
matter.
doesn't.
You're just not getting in enough calories. And what I do know about whether or not you're a vegan or vegetarian, the big thing, and I know people say, "Oh, you're worried about protein," but you actually do need the protein.
You
And
do, yeah.
and there's also, I won't go into the whole science part of it, but there's also amino acids that we need, that if you're
Mm-hmm.
on a strictly plant-based diet, you're going to miss a lot of them. And
Mm-hmm.
one may say, "Oh, but you know what, I feel great." Great, that's good, you
Mm-hmm.
feel great, but when you, especially when you start reaching 40 and beyond that, you need to be moving in a certain way. And in order for you to move in a certain way, you have to have the
Yep,
nutrition for your body to be able to move that way. And the key thing,
absolutely.
here's one of the things that I'm always aware of my clients who are vegan or vegetarian, is the protein. Now, it doesn't always have to be animal based, but
Mm-hmm.
the issue when you don't get enough of the protein and the amino acids that you need when you work out, how we work out with you, when
Mm-hmm.
you're hitting it hard like that, you're going to be sore and your body's not going to recover as well as it should. Is there one thing that you've noticed in terms of changes since working with Lady Max?
my my stamina, and not in the me being immature, I go right to a sexual thought, right? But it's not that. It's like we have to keep that in there.
You,
But it's
listen,
but
you know what?
honestly, like
That's life. Sex is a part
it
of living
is.
and healthy
It
lifestyle.
is. It is, but like when me and you are going like really, really hard,
Yeah.
I can go really, really hard. Like
Yep.
if I'm running up steps, if I'm if I'm just really busy, you know what I mean? So I've noticed that, like, if me and you have worked out at least 3 to 5 times that week,
Mhm.
I have a little bit more energy, so I have more energy than I typically would. I can just move different. When we first started, I mean, it was hard. It was rough if we just did really basic exercises. I feel like we're doing things that are a little more complicated, and I'm actually able to get through more rounds. Like I can do I think me and you can do like a whole minute of burpees, and I don't even stop. I just
Right.
keep moving, and I've seen my body. I've seen my body just kind of get leaner,
Mhm.
and now I'm looking forward to just like toning everything up, but I've noticed a lot. I've noticed a lot of changes in my body. I've noticed a lot of changes in honestly in how I eat, and I pay attention to what I'm craving, because I'm like, maybe if I'm craving this thing, I probably need something in that, so
Right.
um and then the other thing I would think is around my breathing. Normally around this time of year, asthma can be a little rough for me. Um, but I can use my pump less.
Well, thank you, B, for your time. We appreciate
Thank
you coming
you.
and talking with Lady Max.
I'm grateful to be here. I'm appreciative for all that you've done for me.
Thanks to everybody else for joining us again. And if you have not, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go on over to Facebook and Instagram, like us there. And for tips or anything else about Lady Max Lifestyle, head on over to ladymaxlifestyle.com. And remember this, I'm Nicole Sanders, and I transform women's bodies.